Let's talk about something that most people never say out loud. Every man, whether consciously or unconsciously, gives a test before he fully commits. It's not something he announces. It's not something you'll see coming. But it's there, and if you don't understand it, you might pass up on something real, or worse, you might fail a test you never even knew you were taking. Here's the truth: commitment isn't about fear. It's about certainty. A man doesn't commit when he's pressured. He doesn't commit when he's told he should. He commits when he feels safe, when he sees value, and when he believes that this person in front of him isn't just someone he likes, but someone he respects. That respect is the foundation, and respect is earned not through perfection, but through emotional maturity. The test isn't, can she make me feel good? The real test is, can she hold her ground when I pull back? Every man, at some point, will pull away. Not necessarily because he's trying to play games, but because he's trying to figure out what's real. He needs to feel the contrast. He needs to know if he steps back, does she chase, does she panic? Or does she breathe, stay grounded, and trust herself? This is when the test begins. Not when things are easy, but when there's tension, when you feel like you're losing him, when you don't know where you stand. That moment of uncertainty is where he learns the most about you. Will you abandon yourself to keep him, or will you remember your value? See, men are deeply drawn to women who have a strong relationship with themselves. Not just confidence on the surface, but real, rooted self-worth, the kind that says, I want you, but I don't need you to be whole. That's rare, that's magnetic, that's unforgettable. When a man sees that you can handle emotional distance with grace, not with games, but with groundedness, it tells him that you are not ruled by fear. And if you're not ruled by fear, you're not likely to create chaos from insecurity. That's what he's testing for: stability, emotional safety, strength. But here's what most people misunderstand. This test is not about pretending to be indifferent. It's not about playing it cool or acting like you don't care. That's just ego in disguise. This test is about authenticity. It's about showing up with vulnerability and strength at the same time, saying, yes, I want this, but I'm not afraid of walking away if it doesn't serve me. That balance is rare. And when a man finds it, he knows he's not testing your love. He's testing your relationship with yourself. He wants to know if you're someone who loses herself in a relationship, or someone who brings herself to it. Do you disappear in love, or do you stay rooted while giving it? Because anyone can be sweet when things are perfect. Anyone can say the right things in the honeymoon phase, but the way you respond when things are uncertain, that's the real signal. That's what tells him this woman is strong, she's secure, and she's not afraid of being alone if it means protecting her peace. And when a man sees that, he starts seeing you as someone who adds to his life, not someone who needs him to validate hers. That's when commitment becomes a choice, not a burden. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove your worth. Your very energy becomes your message, and your boundaries become your filter. So the next time you feel him step back, don't collapse. Don't overanalyze. Don't become less of yourself to keep more of him. Stay present, stay grounded, stay connected to who you are, because if it's real, if it's aligned, if it's worth having, he'll come back. And this time he'll come back knowing that he doesn't just like being with you. He respects the way you show up for yourself, and that's when everything changes, not because you passed his test, but because you never needed to take it in the first place. You were already standing in your truth, and that's the kind of woman who doesn't chase commitment. She attracts it. Every man at some point in a budding relationship will create emotional space. Sometimes it's deliberate, sometimes it's subconscious, but it almost always happens. This space, this pulling back, has little to do with you and everything to do with how he processes his emotions, evaluates the connection, or navigates his own fears or uncertainties. And yet, even though it's about him, it unexpectedly becomes about you. Why? Because how you respond in that moment tells him more than words ever could. This is the test most women don't realize they're taking. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but because we're rarely taught that silence can be a form of communication, or that absence can actually reveal more than presence. When a man pulls away, it becomes an unspoken invitation. Show me how you manage emotional uncertainty. Do you chase me? Do you question your worth? Do you begin to overfunction, text more, offer more, worry more, just to get my energy back? Or do you pause, breathe, and stay rooted in your truth? When a man creates that distance, what he's really trying to feel is emotional contrast. He wants to see if the connection is built on real strength or just surface-level validation. Because here's the truth. Anyone can show up confidently when things are easy. But when the connection feels threatened, when things get confusing, your default response reveals everything. It reveals your relationship with yourself. It shows whether your self-worth is stable or conditional on his attention. It shows if you're anchored or just pretending to be. Men pay close attention to this. They don't always articulate it, but they feel it. A woman who collapses into anxiety the moment he steps back signals that her emotional safety depends on his presence. But a woman who continues to show up for her life, who stays kind but doesn't chase, who respects his space without abandoning her standards, radiates a deeper kind of strength. She doesn't do it as a tactic or to make him miss her. She does it because she's not willing to lose herself just to keep someone else. That reaction, that calm inner poise is powerful. It tells him, I want you, but I'm okay without you. I care, but I won't sacrifice my peace to prove it. And in that response, you pass the test, not because you followed a rule, but because you're emotionally anchored. You don't make fear-based decisions. You don't overcompensate. You trust yourself, and that's what shifts everything. Because while attraction may bring someone close, it's emotional safety that makes them stay. And emotional safety comes from knowing that when tension arises, you don't fall apart. You stay whole. That's what he's looking for, even if he doesn't know it yet. What truly draws a man into lasting commitment isn't how much you like him, how often you're available, or how well you cater to his needs. It's the quiet, unshakable way you value yourself. A woman who knows her worth doesn't seek approval, she embodies it. She doesn't perform to impress or mold herself to become what she thinks he wants. She shows up as she is, whole, grounded, and rooted in the truth that she is enough, with or without him. That kind of energy is magnetic. It's not loud or boastful. It's calm, confident, and unwavering. It tells him she's not hoping he chooses her to feel worthy. She already knows she's worthy, and he has the privilege of being part of her life if he aligns with her values. When a woman radiates self-worth, she automatically creates standards, not by demanding or controlling, but simply by how she lives. She doesn't tolerate inconsistency or confusion because her inner peace matters more than temporary affection. She doesn't chase potential or settle for half-hearted effort, and because of that, a man begins to view her differently, not as someone who needs him, but as someone he deeply respects. Respect leads to emotional investment. And emotional investment is what makes a man want to commit, not from pressure but from desire. In her presence, he doesn't just feel wanted. He feels inspired to rise because he sees a woman who doesn't need saving. Just someone willing to grow beside him. There's a powerful difference between acting like you don't care and truly standing in your truth. Pretending to be indifferent or emotionally detached might protect your ego in the short term, but it doesn't create real connection. It creates confusion. Authenticity, on the other hand, is bold. It's vulnerable. It's strong. When a woman can openly express her desire for love and connection, while still holding firm to her boundaries, she communicates something rare and unforgettable. I want this, but I don't need this to validate me. I'm willing to open my heart, but not at the expense of my peace. That level of clarity is not only healthy, it's magnetic, because it shows she knows the difference between love and self-abandonment. A woman with real boundaries doesn't punish or withdraw to manipulate. She simply chooses not to entertain dynamics that make her shrink. She doesn't allow inconsistency, confusion, or mixed signals to become her norm. And she doesn't sit in emotional gray zones hoping someone else will make a decision for her. Instead, she listens to how she feels. She pays attention to what her intuition is telling her, and if something feels misaligned, she's strong enough to walk away. Not because she stopped caring, but because she started caring about herself more. That's the kind of woman a man remembers, the one who could have chased but didn't, the one who could have begged but chose grace, the one who was willing to be vulnerable but never desperate. Her energy doesn't say, "Please choose me." It says, "I know my value. If you're aligned with it, let's grow. If not, I'll keep walking in love, with or without you." That's not coldness, it's self-respect, and men who are truly ready to commit are drawn to it. Why? Because it creates emotional safety. When a man knows that a woman is honest about what she wants and unafraid to walk away from what she doesn't, it removes the pressure of performance and invites truth. It creates a space where real partnership can grow not based on fear or control, but on mutual clarity and respect. In that space, a man commits not because he has to, but because he knows he's found someone who's already whole. And that's someone he never wants to lose.